If you would, react to, by the way, I love the name of your new book. It's fantastic. But react to this idea.
Thank you.
And Joe Biden hitting the trail here. And, you know, where are they going with all this?
Well, the amazing thing is, I don't know if Kamala Harris actually thinks that Donald Trump is in a laboratory late at night mixing up some vaccine samples, and he's going to personally go out and inject her with it. We hear from the left all the time, follow the science, follow the science. So when scientists are charged with the idea of coming up with a vaccine and they end up doing it, and she says, I'm not going to take it. Now she joins the Jenny McCarthy's and the anti-vaxxers, and it makes them look silly to beg for a vaccine, and then they get it and they say, no, I'm not going to take it because Donald Trump was president when it was developed. That's insane.
Governor, I'd love to get your reaction on something Senator Bernie Sanders is talking about. He talked to Politico, and he mentioned that if Trump is elected on election night, but then mail-in balloting comes back a week later, we could be looking at a nightmare scenario. Here, I'll read for you directly what he had to say to Politico. He says, what we got to do in the next 2 months is alert the American people about what a nightmare scenario might look like in order to prepare them for that possibility and talk about what we do if that happens. He's painting a very dark picture for that time around the election, Governor. Your reaction?
Why is it that the left, who is pushing the mail-in ballots, are already predicting that the mail-in ballots are going to swing the election after the election to the Democrat? Does that not seem just a little bit weird that they're setting us up to have that scenario? And this idea that Trump won't leave unless, you know, he's kicking and screaming. Who was it that didn't leave unless they were kicking and screaming 4 years ago? In fact, on Inauguration Day, the launch of the resistance. And boy, have they ever been resisting. They've resisted Donald Trump's tax cuts, a greater than ever economy. They've resisted his efforts to bring the world safer with historic foreign policy initiatives that have been stunning. Trade deals, USMCA, on and on the list goes. They've resisted every bit of it. Even the things they said they wanted, like DACA, like infrastructure, like police reform. The president lays it on the table and suddenly they don't want it because he's at the table. This is insane, and I hope the American people understand that we need to not just vote, we need to vote en masse. This needs to be a landslide election that they cannot steal by going out and finding some ballots that they were able to harvest after the election.
Yeah, a lot of people certainly feel that way, no doubt, Governor. I got to get your reaction to a story we've been covering for a couple of days. The Atlantic, which is owned by big fans of Joe Biden, and a piece in the Atlantic was written by Jeffrey Goldberg, who's a big fan of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, not so much Donald Trump, used anonymous sources to claim Donald Trump made remarks about fallen heroes. Your daughter, Sarah Huckabee, she said she was there, didn't hear him say anything like that. Can you explain more of what she saw and also your reaction to it, sir?
Well, this story is utterly phony, and I've heard people say, well, it's been confirmed because other people have confirmed it. Who do they confirm it with? The same unnamed anonymous sources. That's not a confirmation. That is simply an affirmation of the original lie. Let me tell you something. The people that are being named, my daughter, Hogan Gidley, Nikki Haley, General Keith Kellogg, a number of people.
Not to mention John Bolton,
who,
Governor.
by the way, is no fan.
Yes.
Yeah, no fan of the president these days. And even he said, and the document showed that it was rain that kept them away. This is one more attempt. This is about as phony, if not worse, than Russian collusion, which turned out to be, you know, a big bag of gas. So when people say something has been confirmed by another source, if the same source is anonymous, it's bogus. As Larry Gatlin, my dear friend, would call it, bovine droppings. Pete, there's got to be a time when people understand that when you can't stand up and name the source, it's not a really reliable story. So I would say to the people pushing this stuff, get us a name, put him on the record, put him under oath. But it's not true, and the people who were there and saw it, they're willing to stand up by name, put their names to the effect and say, this is an outright lie against the president. And how funny was it that the very day this article came out, the Biden campaign had an ad that just magically appeared because they're so smart. They're so prescient that they were able to foresee this article coming out and go ahead and put together a TV ad even before the article broke. That's pretty amazing, wouldn't you say? As somebody would say, they must have ESPN or something over there.
Thanks so much for being here, Governor, and for giving us your take as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Governor.
You bet. Have a great day.
You too.